no matter the location. From O-A-K-L-A to LB, I'm a Raider.
Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and if you want to get your questions or comments on the show, you got to join us live every single Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific, and you got to go ahead and use hashtag Raiders to Super Chat. First one's coming in from Gary. What up, my man? What's up from Central Ohio? Javen White update. By the way, let me be the first one today to say Tom A.B. Always, Tom A.B. Gary's one of the OGs around here. So remember, this show is being filmed on Tuesday. It's going to go out on a later date on the Raiders Report channel. As far as I know right now, no update. I am hoping that we get some sort of good news, though from people that I've personally talked to, does not sound like Javen White is going to be able to play again this year, but it still remains to be seen. If it's only an MCL, that can repair itself, and he might be able to finish out the season. If it's an ACL, though, season's over. Let's go to Big Time Willie. First Raiders game, Chiefs versus Raiders in 2011. My JUCO teammate dated the Raiders cheerleader, laugh out loud, top 10 offense and defense this year. I'll say I'm more confident in a top 10 offense than I am a top 10 defense, though the defense has impressed me thus far. And then first Raiders game, 2011. Wow, in 2011, I just graduated high school, and I actually never went to it. My first NFL game I ever went to was my freshman year in college, and it was a preseason game because my buddy, we got preseason tickets. So the first actual NFL game I ever went to was back in 2019. So that's something to think about. All right, let's go to Gary. What up, Gary? Appreciate the super again. You think CARR will find more motivation being left off the top 100? Also, Tom AP again. And Tom, anyone who hits the thumbs down button on your streams. So the reason why he's saying Tom, anybody that says Tom is like one of the OGs, because we used to always say you can't drop the F-bomb on a show, so we used to tell people to just say Tom instead. So anytime I see Tom, I'm like, all right, Gary's been around a long time. In terms of CARR being more motivated, holy shit, Mitch, I don't think he even cares, even a little bit. Why? That's just not kind of the person DC is, and if he does care, then he's going to be motivated. And a motivated CARR is a scary dude. So, do I really think he cares? No. But let's be honest. If Ryan Tannehill's in the top 80, I believe he was top 89, I have Tannehill's a better quarterback, but I can guarantee this. Baker Mayfield is not better than Derek Carr. Let's go to Joe. That one's for you, Sam. Travis Etienne got injured. Would you trade Kenyan Drake to the Jags for a second-round pick? So Travis Etienne actually came out today that he's battling a Liz Frank injury, and he's done for the entire season. So the rookie drafted in round 1 out of Clemson, he is not going to be playing this upcoming season. So, okay, so basically this is the trade idea that you're going to go ahead and do. So Joe, shout out to the rest of the team that made this. Raiders receive a 2022 second-round pick. The Jacksonville Jaguars get Kenyan Drake. So, I want you guys to go down in the comments. Let me know who wins this trade. Type R for the Raiders. Type J for the Jags. But, or just type Raiders and Jags. Even perfect. You guys are killing it today. I understand the idea that people might think that the Jags would want to trade for Kenyan Drake. However, they also have James Robinson, who rushed for over 1,000 yards last year. So would I do this trade? Yes, in a heartbeat. I like Drake a lot. He's a good back, but we could save the money and get a 2022 second-round pick. That sounds pretty damn good to me. Marvin, you're next up here on the Raiders Report. I've been a big fan of the Raiders for 4 years now. My dad been a longtime fan. Is it true Oakland and San Francisco beef? Because, no, I don't think it's that. I think it's more just the fact of these teams are both so, proud of their teams. I think it's Raider fans are all right, the Bay belongs to us. 49ers fans think otherwise. So there's a lot of hatred, though. There's no doubt about that. Let's go to Julius. What up, Julius? Mitch, do you think the early cut of Stills is an attempt to ensure he clears waivers for the practice squad? It's actually a very good point that you're making, because I said earlier that Stills being cut is one of those situations where he's a good player. He was actually somebody that I had a 5th-round grade on coming out of the draft. So, usually when I have that, I'm like, he's good enough to be able to make a roster. His biggest problem is that he can't stay healthy. So, to what you said, yes, I actually think he's going to clear waivers because he's not 100% healthy. And then if the Raiders want to be able to sign him later so that way he can make the practice squad, it is something to keep in mind. The other thing, I'm going to message Stills probably after this live show. He posted on his Instagram and his Twitter today something about really trying to stay positive and all this kind of stuff. I'm curious if that's what they told him, and he's like, you know what, it sucks being cut, but I'm going to stay positive, brighter things to come. Let's go to Sports Splash. So since the 49ers are starting all of their starters, should the Raiders start theirs? No, I don't care if the 49ers start all of their guys. Good for them. Go ahead. If I know anything about Gruden, he's not going to go ahead and do that. I would be shocked if Derek Carr played in this one. I'd be shocked if a lot of the starters. I understand the idea of wanting to go out and play to win a game, but it's the preseason. It really does not matter whatsoever. So if they want to go ahead and do it, sure, shit, go ahead. Daniel Keenan. I just got in here, Mitch Cliff Branch, a finalist for 2022. Hell frickin' yeah. One of the very first videos, actually, that I ever made here on the Raiders Report was a video about how it blows my mind that Cliff Branch and how Tom Flores were not in the Hall of Fame yet. Obviously, Flores is in the Hall of Fame now, but yes, Cliff Branch finally speed kills. Please, everyone down in the comments section, type CB to show Cliff Branch some love. Now, if you guys haven't yet, please subscribe to the Raiders Report today. That way you know everything that's going on around the Las Vegas Raiders. And to make sure that you never miss a video, there is a bell underneath the vid. You can go ahead and click that. Click all. That way you get notifications for everything. And if you're wondering, wait a minute, I got the bell clicked, but I'm not getting a notification, make sure you go into your settings and then enable notifications. That way you guys can actually see all the videos that we release here. All right, Scott, is there any chance that we sign Adrian Peterson or Geno Atkins? In terms of Peterson, haven't heard much about him for any team. Would Peterson be an interesting pick? Sure, but it doesn't really sound like the Raiders are that interested. Geno Atkins, I actually believe that he's going to end up signing with the Seattle Seahawks. It seems like both of them are very interested. He had a visit with them on Tuesday. Sounded like both sides were very happy, and I don't blame Geno for wanting to join his old teammate Carlos Dunlap, who just absolutely balled out in Seattle. Matt Vet Woodworking, do you see Teamer making the 53? He's actually a very interesting person in terms of making the 53. He was one of my winners last week up against the Rams, and it's interesting because last year the Raiders kept Dale Levitt. Why? He's a good special teams player, and he offers you a little bit more depth. Now, for somebody like Teamer, he kind of is the exact same player that Levitt is, only I think he's a more athletic version. He had 8 tackles this past week. However, the reason why I am going to go ahead and say no, that I don't see him making the squad, is because the Raiders have extra depth at the safety position. If they want to rely on Tyree Gillespie, they can. Carl Joseph is still trying to get healthy. Remember, a guy like Tanner Muse, even if somebody like Divine Diablo, if need be, can probably jump back into a strong safety position or an extra, we'll say, special teams player if they're in a pinch. So, no, I don't think that he's going to end up making the 53-man roster, but I do think it's a very good question. What up, Edwin? How many sacks, oh boy, do you think that the defense gets this season? My number has been 44. That's going to be the number that I'm going to end up sticking with. I know that they had only 20-something last year, like 23. They had 32 the year before, 13 the year before that. I believe that they can get 44. Max is going to have double-digit. Gakwe is going to have double digits. It's just being able to find some of these other players to really be able to pick up the pace. A sleeper player to have almost double-digit sacks, Jonathan Abram. He's going to be a sleeper player to go up and get 7-8 sacks. You heard it here first. Now, today's show is presented by Panda Sups. If you guys are looking for the best workout supplements on the market, please go ahead and check out Panda Sups. If you want the best tasting protein, look no further. You can go to pandasups.com, use code RaiderNation to save 40%. If you want to try some free protein, listen up. I got a special deal going on, chatsports.com/free protein, okay? I just wanted to be able to throw that out for you. So if you guys are having a trouble time being able to concentrate at work, that's what's great with the nootropic. If you're having trouble sleeping, the Sleepy is a phenomenal product. I don't know about you, I need at least 1, maybe sometimes 2 scoops of pre-workout. But for those of you that don't drink a lot of caffeine, it's very, very strong pre-workout. Some of the BCAs that are absolutely phenomenal. I love this peach one personally. They also just released some strawberry watermelon as well for some new BCA flavors if you guys want to go ahead and try those out. And then when it comes to the burn, if you're trying to lose some belly fat, I'm not even kidding you when I say, imagine being able to burn like 200 calories just by sitting at work, just by sitting at school. Take a scoop of that, and it's just going to start melting off you. Go to pandasups.com, code RaiderNation. What up, Brandon? Do you think that the Raiders should trade or sign a decent backup lineman? Because our backups right now are booty. Love the picture, but booty. I mean, I'll tell you what, the backups right now have not played well whatsoever, and it's definitely been a major eyesore considering the fact that Nathan Peterman's been running for his life. And when you really think about that, Incognito's been battling an injury already. If he goes down, Simpson at times has played well. Even though I saw something today on Twitter on Tuesday, it was like, oh, he's been the best offensive lineman for the Raiders. His technique is bad. He's just that strong of a player where he can get by once in a while, but I am actually pretty concerned about the Raiders' backups, especially on the offensive line. What up, Ty? Hobbs took that slot spot. He's definitely been playing really well, and not only playing in the slot, that interception he had this past week against the Rams where he was able to track that one down and go up and get it, he's making plays where you're like, wow, that kid is special. And I don't want to sit here and say it reminds me of Crosby because Crosby is still, I think, a little bit of a different player, but he's making plays where you're like, I can't believe a fifth-round pick made that. And he doesn't look like a fifth-round pick. He looks so athletic, and he never had the doubt that he was an athletic player. It was, could he put it together upstairs, and how is he going to make that transition to the National Football League? Looks pretty damn good, though, doesn't he? All right, let's go to this next one coming in here from Chesier_cat_47. What'd you say? Cheshire? I don't know what Cheshire Cat is. What's up with Khalil Mack trade rumors? Laugh out loud. It's only because apparently the Raiders, before they went out and signed Yannick Ngakoue, they picked up the phone, they called the Bears and said, hey, would you be interested in trading Khalil Mack back? Bears said, no, go F yourself. And the Raiders were like, all right, we're going to go out and get Ngakoue. Either way, very happy that the Raiders were able to get Ngakoue. What up, Frey? Should the Raiders sign Mitchell Schwartz since our backups suck? So another fan here worried about the backups. I mean, in terms of Mitchell Schwartz, I'm going to stay away from him because I personally don't think he's 100% healthy. The back scares the hell out of me, but there are some other offensive linemen out there. Maybe Russell Okung, even though he's kind of banged up as well. But, I mean, you're just not going to find many good offensive linemen still out in the free agent market. All right, y'all, so go down to the comments right now. Why for yes and for no? Are you going to a game this year? I'm hoping that I can go to at least one game, though it still is kind of TBD on that. If I'm ever at a game, let me know down in the comments if you guys would hang out with me. I'd appreciate it. Why for yes and for no? Are you going to a Raiders game this year? Hoping to see a lot of yeses. What up, Michael? Please kick the crap out of Lance. So the Raiders going up against Trey Lance. I don't want to kick the crap out of him, but I do want to just beat him up a little bit, and I want him to know when he leaves that game, like, shit. Man, that Raiders defense, that's legit. So that's what I'm hoping for. The Raiders are 2-0, going up against the 49ers, who are 1-1. This game is in Santa Clara, California, at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific. Chase Sr. and we are going to be live on the Raiders Report. He's going to be live on the 49ers Report. We're actually going to do a joint show, so I want you guys to subscribe. I don't want you to miss it. It's going to be a watch party like you've never seen before. My goal is to get Chase drunk, so I'm going to need Raider Nation's help for that. What up, Bobby? Are we playing two quarterbacks against San Francisco? I have no idea. I mean, Nathan Peterman might lead the preseason in attempts, completions, and yards. He right now is on pace to do so. I get that he's got 1 touchdown, 3 picks, but if Mariota doesn't want to play, I don't risk it. If CARR doesn't want to play, I don't risk it. Like, I don't play CARR no matter what. You know he's the starter. Am I a little bit curious to see what Mariota can do? Sure, but we also saw last year. He barely played at all, comes in a game, and he was freaking fantastic. What up, LI Raider 312? Any report on Abrams this camp? Him getting disciplined would go a long way for us. So he's actually said multiple times, and I know some coaches have as well, said that they've seen a big jump from Jonathan Abram in terms of being a lot more disciplined at his position. I know I did literally one show on like all these crazy quotes that Abram was saying because I was like, damn, that sounds like a totally different dude. But he is playing a lot more controlled, but he's also playing a lot more in his element, playing up closer to the line of scrimmage, being that box safety where you can just pin your ears back and get after the quarterback instead of having him drop back into coverage a little bit. But so far, so good from Abram. Now, obviously, we get a lot of questions on here. We got 908 people watching this live show. I can't get to every single one of your comments, so if I missed it, hit me up on Instagram. I'm at Mitchell Renz 365. Let's go to Scott. Sign Aldon Smith. No, I'm good on Smith. Smith is not quite to the caliber of Josh Gordon, but there's just certain players where you give all these guys so many chances, and I'm just sick and tired of it. So Smith got released by Seattle. No, I'm good on Smith. Mad Vet, if Javen White has to sit out a while, do you see us keeping Teamer and moving Gillespie to linebacker or sign KJ Wright? I mean, Gillespie's not going to move to linebacker. That's for certain. I would say the more likely scenario, if you're going to move a safety to linebacker, it'd probably be a better chance of Carl Joseph. But again, not going to happen. I personally would just go out and sign KJ Wright. He's a phenomenal player. He knows the Gus Bradley system. It sounds like the Raiders are interested. It sounds like KJ Wright's interested. The only thing holding this deal back right now is money. And it sounds cliche, but it's the truth. It's money. It's dollars and cents. Drew, how improved do you believe our defense will be on third down specifically? Gave up a lot of first downs on third and long last year. Too many, right? I mean, I don't know how much worse you could be, but there has been some solid signs this year in terms of in preseason games where guys are making good tackles. Like, really, there's probably only a handful of plays in the preseason so far where I've been like, man, they had a chance to get off the field and they were unable to do it. But one of the things that you're hoping for in Bradley's defense is the simplicity. One of the biggest reasons why we'd have all these like 3rd and 17s, you're like, oh shit, how's this guy this wide open on this type of play? It's because nobody knew where the hell to go in a Paul Gunther system. It was super confusing. He had a whole bunch of younger guys. Bradley's system is much more simplistic, which should, hopefully, break down some of those crazy plays. You're like, 3rd and 20, first down. How the hell is that possible? What up, James? What would be the plan to stop Trey Lance? I'm going to say contain him. Don't let him use his legs. Don't let him roll out in the pocket. And try to make him run on or throw on the run. He has shown just phenomenal arm strength, but he's also shown that he is not afraid to try to fit it in some tight spaces. He's also shown that he's not afraid to trust his arm maybe a little bit too much. He's 13 of 28 so far this preseason, 3 touchdowns. He has a pick. This past week against the Chargers, I thought he was okay, but like he's a little bit erratic. That's all I'm saying. So I'm going to say pressure him, get after him, make him feel like a rookie. That's usually my number one success for going up against mobile quarterbacks that I'll say don't always impress me with their accuracy. Robert Jansen, what's with Mack holdout and how the Tom can we get him back? So I think you're talking about Khalil Mack. I mean, what's with Mack holdout and how the Tom can we get him back? I mean, Khalil's probably just resting right now. I don't really think that's what you're talking about unless I'm just totally off right now. And then in terms of getting him back, if you're talking about Khalil Mack, he's not coming back. Sorry, there's no way you're going to get Khalil Mack back. Even though it rhymes, I would love to get him back in silver and black. I don't know how much more I can rhyme, though.